Welcome back
Hello.
to another episode.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. That's all I got.
There you go.
In the world is
Carmen Sandiego. You like how one of our fathers like, please, not so much singing, but talk about aliens, yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, ew.
So,
For as long as you've known me,
yeah.
and when we work together, I always like to sing off key.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Yeah, and then the intern knows that I love to sing off key and just make up my own words.
Yes.
And then she likes to correct me. So, and there's this meme that says this girl with a keyboard, like a piano keyboard, and she's like, when people correct you on the lyrics, it's like, bitch, what if I was a cappella? What if I was singing a cappella? So I always laugh at that. But welcome to, we are recording on a different day. It is Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Shit! See, welcome! I'm living a day behind. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, normally we do
Hump week.
Fridays.
Hump day.
Unless we have an event, then we do
Yes.
Saturdays, but we have something to do tomorrow.
We have
Friday
a busy schedule.
And Saturday for, well, the other territory. So, yeah, between that and your party. So, yeah, and I normally start my researching and binging around Wednesday or Thursday. So, I came out here kind of dry of topics. So, I figured, why don't we just shoot the shit and talk? And I know you have a couple things. So.
Shoot the shit and talk. That is the theme of our podcast always.
That is true. Well, yeah. That's true. Even when we talk about topics, it's still just, we're still just saying how we see it.
Yes.
And I don't give a damn how you see it. Okay.
Yes. I'm going to start off with this. I forgot. This has been on my mind since Super Bowl Sunday. I have to give myself some props for reacting the way that I did when we went to Monster Market and I saw something.
Yeah,
that kind
me
of
too.
just changed my mood. I try not to let these things affect me, but it's just like, I was just like, can we stop? Enough already for me. That was my reaction. Enough. And I did ask the intern, I was like, could you tell my reaction? Was it like obvious? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. But anyways.
Well, like I said, the couple next to me.
I was glad to hear that.
Where like the lady was like, well, you knew we were going to see something. You knew there was a chance. And he goes, yeah, I don't want it though.
Yeah, yeah.
And they stopped. Because again, that's not why we're there.
Yeah. We go to these events to escape all the life drama of politics and work and all that stuff. And just human behavior. But then we see stuff that we see every day and we're like,
keep your political messaging out of your business.
Yeah, I really believe that.
Businesses do that.
But these people out here, some of them are just like, if you stay silent, are you really living your morals and values? I was like, business.
Don't be silent in your personal accounts. Don't be silent in your personal life. And do something. Donate your time. Donate money.
Yeah.
Call your congressman. Work for one of them.
Yeah.
Don't say, well, I put it on a cupcake, so I did my part. That's not going to change the world.
The reason I get upset about that, too, is because that just means you want money. So you're using, kind of like what Target did with the Pride Month.
The trans stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but also Pride. Like, all the
true.
companies push Pride stuff, and I'm like, can you just, Pride is every day.
Should be.
Why is it a monthly thing? Why is it always about rainbows and, like, all these horrendous sayings and stuff that they came out with recently? But anyways, I was just like, okay, whatever. But I'm happy I reacted the way I did. It wasn't, like, outrageous, but it was just, I didn't internalize it. Why should I? Right? If we are out and we're hearing all this nonsense, why do we always have to be outnumbered? We're the common sense, logical thinking people. I have a right to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think for me, it's like, I'm just, you know me, I don't expect anything less.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything from people. So when I see the masked girl, and the tattooed boy, I'm like, yeah, you're okay. I know what side you're on already. You might as well have the nose ring and the whole kit. But so I didn't expect it. But
and
I went ahead and spent $25 anyway.
Yeah, no, that doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll always support. But it just kind of bothered me that was the first thing I saw was ginormous. And the thing for me is always, why are you doing this? And for me, it was, I'm just doing this so I can get more money. And I'm just like, that's shady to me. Very shady. So that happened, and then I wanted to say also that Super Bowl Sunday was a very big topic amongst people. I don't really give a fuck because that's a ritual. Spiritually, that those things are rituals, concerts, all that stuff we've learned. If you haven't learned already or open your eyes about this stuff is just political propaganda. It's no longer an entertainment show, and if it is, you have to be careful with your energy because it just sucks your energy, right? So I didn't care for it. Did I see some clips as I was scrolling through Instagram these since then to now? Yeah, but I think it's funny how people are arguing over this.
The game or the halftime?
The halftime.
Okay.
A halftime show. And it did, because it did exactly what it was meant to do.
Divide.
To continue to divide us and just to
it worked.
Solidify solidify people being desensitized. Because when it comes to lyrics and songs and movements of the body on a halftime show that families are watching, children are watching, I mean, you're desensitizing the kids to all this stuff.
Good thing, since I guess he did everything in Spanish, which that's fine, that's his language. Yeah. No one's saying it, but I guess thankfully from a lot of the lyrics that he used, thankfully a lot of families couldn't understand what he was saying because apparently a lot of that language shouldn't be uttered on a national. If it had been in English, they would have had to bleep him out.
Yeah,
so I don't understand why it was fine in Spanish.
I don't know what the lyrics were. I don't know what the songs were.
There's a lot of female, male body parts.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it with the people the way they were dancing. And can it be a little hypocritical because past shows? Yeah, maybe, but Rihanna didn't do any of that shit when she did it. And this is the thing that bothered me. And I'm slowly getting to it because I'm trying not to be so, I guess, angry. Yeah. Angry is not the right word. The intern saw someone's story who we're friends with that said, praised Bad Bunny's performance and was saying all these things, and they're like, they ended their statement, their very passionate statement with, you will not erase the Latino heritage or the Latino race. And that infuriated me.
Why? Who's erasing them?
That's what infuriated me. How stupid, how dumb to say and let something like this, I don't know what it is that you're seeing every day that's affecting you so badly that you think this world is trying to erase the Latino heritage, the Hispanic heritage, and I was just like, this is the dumbest shit I have ever heard, and on top of that, Bad Bunny is not a representative of Latinos. He is not the idol of Latinos, okay? Like, I was so the word is disappointed because I'm continuously being disappointed with people's behaviors and things that come out of their mouth. And as someone who is Latina, I have never felt ashamed of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't need a halftime show to give me pride.
You don't need other people's affirmation.
Right. Yeah. And so I was like, you just fell in line. This is exactly what they wanted.
The psyop worked.
And people were saying, people who were Latinos are like, oh yeah, he represented Latino. Did you forget about Shakira and J-Lo? Their halftime show? There's other people too that have done previous. Like, did we just focus on this one person and he's the representative?
Remember, nothing existed before today because
I know
the attention, the short-term, long-term memory doesn't exist in liberals.
I know.
Liberals have no long-term memory.
And it's just irritating. That irritated me. And I think about it, and I've been wanting to post on my personal and be like, how pathetic that your self-esteem, your self-worth got hit by the government.
Now I have to ask: is the person who sent are they?
Yes, they are.
Okay, at least there's that.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, who told? What are you seeing every day that's making you? And don't tell me, the ICE deportation.
That's all.
Because that has nothing to do.
They think they're just coming from Mexico.
Yeah. But that has nothing to do.
I know.
And no, this person is not from Mexico. This person
no. They think that's all ICE is doing is. Yeah. They're just getting rid of Mexicans.
But that has nothing to do. Yeah, they're only getting rid of Hispanic Latino people. Meanwhile, Russia, China, all those people.
And if you are here if you're here from people from Central and South America, I mean, Turkish and Polish people don't live there, so you're kind of going for people of those cultures. But go ahead. I mean, I don't understand. She just got psyop. Yeah, she got psyop.
I was like, what in the world are people saying? Because she's not the only one. There's other people on social media. And I just laugh, and it bothers me because it all goes back to how are you letting this dictate your life? Mm-hmm. If you are a true Latino, you don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. You are proud. You don't let anyone put you down. Especially in the Latino community, you know the only people that can put you down are your parents. Okay? Your parents are the only ones that talk down to you and make you feel like shit. So, don't give me that. I was so infuriated. I literally remember my reaction when the intern read it to me. I was like, what the fuck? Literally, what the fuck? And I'm so disappointed because use your brain. Come on. You know? This is ridiculous. I can't understand it. And I won't understand it because you know what I did last night when I had to drive all the way to Santana Valley? I blasted all my music. I was alone in my car, rolled down the windows, blasted all my music that I like. And there were some Latino songs. Do you think I lowered the volume? I'm like, oh, I'm oppressed. Why? I can't. But that's what I'm saying. Where's the logic coming from for this?
There isn't.
And I was so infuriated, and I was like, this worked so well for the people they needed it to work. So my message is stop being fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Stop being so, like, your self-worth is getting hit left and right. And disappointment. It's so disappointing. I don't know what else to say. Sometimes I can't even put this stuff into words because it doesn't make sense to me. How can I put something into words that doesn't make sense?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And so great job on the energy harvesting, the divide-in. I mean, like you said, the PSYOP worked very well. And for people who aren't Latino to be supporting it too and saying the same shit, I'm like, you guys are crazy. But
yeah, none of it made sense to me. I just, for the first time in my life, I mean, ever, 52, I mean, granted from adulthood, I mean, teenage years on, I did not watch 1 second.
Neither did I.
I mean, the game, I didn't even tap I was watching a Scream Marathon. So I didn't have a channel on, I didn't have my DirecTV stream on, nothing, and I didn't miss it. I was guilty, I placed some bets, and that's it. When the night was over, I cashed out the few winnings I had, and I'm done. I deleted the dating app. I deleted that one a long time ago. But I deleted the FanDuel app because it's like that's part of the problem too.
Yeah.
And I realized the Super Bowl is one big corporate.
It is.
It is millionaires. It is for billionaires. It is for trafficking. It is for division.
Yeah. For
the players, it's great. Even though I heard that because it was in California. Did you hear that? I posted it on my story with the quarterback for the Seahawks.
No.
He's actually going to owe the state of California $71,000 for playing in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Because of the jock tax. They make so much money, a certain amount of money if they win.
Yeah.
But you get taxed on that. Plus, you have to get taxed for every day that you stayed there as a
What?
travel. So he's going to end up owing the state. Yeah, well, Democrats love their freaking taxes. Between that and the mileage tax that's coming. And that's why I don't understand why people are just so in love with the party because all they want to do is take your money and then tell you how to feel. But
they're for the people, remember?
Yeah, no. But so for the halftime shows, I didn't care. I mean, I didn't know who Bad Bunny was anyway, so he just fell in the category to me of Kendrick Lamar or Taylor Swift. Anybody else, I don't know their music, so why am I going to? And the Super Bowl, they're like talking about numbers. It's like when there are watch parties and gatherings, we did this when I used to have more friends and we would do watch parties. When the halftime show hit, we were over getting more food.
Yeah.
Sometimes a few people would sit and watch, but we'd go outside, throw the football around, but the TV's on.
Yeah.
So it's still collecting data. It's still giving you that ratings number that, yes. Someone's there. And then they did the TPUSA show with Kid Rock. I didn't care about Kid Rock. I don't care about that.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
I don't care about all that stuff. I'm not going to go on to Rumble or YouTube and subscribe. And even though to get 8 to 10 million viewers to go on and subscribe and stream is a pretty big number. But you're never going to beat the NFL. And it's like this whole thing where it's like, I saw it on X. I was having fun on X. It's where people, I mean, the divide is, see the MAGA culture, because they consider every conservative a MAGA person, which is just because they're in a cult. They put us one flipperoo dipsy do. Whatever it is that they do, they accuse the other side of doing.
Yeah.
But they're like, see, MAGA, your whole world is falling apart. Your culture's falling apart because the numbers show Bad Bunny won. And it's like, I know. You're like, What?
I didn't know we were doing a.
You're not going to beat the NFL.
Yeah.
But when they said it was the best performance of all time, I was like, motherfucker, Prince.
Yeah.
It was raining during Purple Rain. You can't get any better than that. Prince was the number one, for me, performance of all time. I'm biased because, I like Prince, but, I mean, even some of the shows I watched, Rihanna's show wasn't bad.
No, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I mean, I hate to say it because I hate Trey and Snoop and all them, but their show wasn't bad.
I didn't see it.
Because I was with other people in that, but these last two, it's just the bad. I hate the divide because you're right. This was just an energy sucking, and you see the clip. I don't know if you follow what I follow, but they showed all the private jets that left from San Francisco.
No, I didn't.
It was like 600 private jets.
Where's the eco-friendly protest?
Well, all the people in the stadium had to drink out of paper straws because it's California. But all these private jets took off like right after the show because down with the rich, down with the millionaires, down with the billionaires, eat the rich, tax the rich. And then they go and celebrate a damn Super Bowl. And it's just everything about these movements are hypocritical. They're cannibalistic. Nobody actually cares. This woman, this friend of yours, she doesn't care. She's just trying to get social media credit and clout to say, look, I'm a social media warrior or whatever. Look at me. Well, look at me. I care about my people. But she doesn't have a clue, obviously, what's going on. She's just, again, hates Trump. So I will say this to the day I die. Everything that we're going through now is just boils down to just, I wish they'd all just say it. Instead of saying Bad Bunny ruled or Kid Rock such, just say, I hate Trump.
Yeah.
That's all this all boils down to me. Everything is rooted in that. Everything originates from that. Mm-hmm. And then anything else is just the fallout from, like, it's ICE, which is just an extension of him. Kid Rock, which is an extension of TPUSA, which is an extension of Charlie Kirk, which is an extension of Trump. It's all 6 degrees separation of, instead of Kevin Bacon, we now have Donald Trump, and people aren't going to use logic. That's why I say stop using logic. They're not going to use common sense. They're not going to just live their own life and enjoy their own means. They're just going to see what the algorithm says and then repost something, say, puff out their chest and say, look at me, I'm a proud Latinx.
Well, I just think it's funny because conspiracy theorists were all over this, especially with the logo of the Super Bowl. The colors were of Central Broadcasting. They were similar to Central Broadcasting colors, like when you get that screen. And so I like kind of laughed at that, and I was like, yeah, well, everything is symbolism, guys. Where the fuck have you been? Like, we know this as conspiracy theorists. We know everything's symbolism. But what I do like is that people that I did not realize would go down this path, how they did realize Lady Gaga was there and that she is like a high priest witch. And I laughed when I heard that because I'm like, yeah, she has been associated with that artist that I never can say her name because I don't even fucking care to say because she's satanic. But she's the artist that used to do the spirit cookings for Epstein and all the elites and everything. And she was mentored by this lady. And that's why I'm just like, I do appreciate people talking about that because it is important.
Go ahead, keep going.
And I just think, Obi's like, high five, man.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I just think that the power lines, did you see the video clip how, like, dancers were on top of the power lines? And they were saying, like, oh, that's going to be a power outage soon.
No, I didn't
they were,
see
like,
that.
symbolizing that.
I didn't see that.
And, yeah, it was in part of the performance. That
I
people
didn't
dancing
watch.
on top of the
that.
power lines, that structures that they made for the
6G power lines?
Probably, yeah. The power lines will no longer exist. It'll be towers, you know? So, that was a little entertaining for me, because again, all this is entertainment, but it's the dark side of entertainment. And I say a big what the fuck to all the people who did watch this, because these people who were so crazy and still are about the Epstein file and all the horrendous things, and they're finally, I don't even want to say the word understand it, but they finally are like, oh my god, this is true, because they dropped this 1%. Fuck you. Because you should have not been watching that show. You supported these elites. You continue to watch this shit. You continue to listen to this music. And you are so hypocritical, because then you go on your page and you say, we're not, fuck Trump, or like, fuck MAGA, or fuck all the other side, because you're not going to erase our Latino heritage. You fell in line. I will continue to say that you fell in fucking line to be slaughtered. You're sheep. And I get very angry about this because you're so dumb. It's the only word I can come up with is dumb. Because you fight, you get riled up of like these horrendous things that happen to children. And what did you do by watching the Super Bowl? You praise the people who are doing these things to horrendous children. And you want accountability? Well, you have to be accountable too. Because you're just feeding into the narrative. You are giving them props and going, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and eat. Go ahead and do this. Red Shoe Club. Go get the kids from the Super Bowl that are, like, missing now. Or, like, I haven't even looked into that to see if anyone's missing after the Super Bowl. And it probably won't even be reported.
No, it won't.
But, like, you guys don't realize what's going on around. Like, this all comes into play. All of a sudden now in the algorithm, there's people posting stories about how CPS has increased their visits with families. And they're trying to take children literally from the minute the mom gives birth because they're not vaccinated. They're not doing this. They're not. What does that tell you? They're running out of children for their little rituals, for their horrendous things. McDonald's is running out of burger meat. Okay? Like... We laugh at it, but it's not funny. It's true. Do you think... Look at Oprah's guru. He got additional charges. I read somewhere that he got additional charges because the surrogate farms he had. Beyonce has been accused. Jay-Z and Beyonce have a surrogate farm. No one talks about that. That was mentioned once in the last year and a half. All these people, the whole, remember when we went out to dinner, I mentioned how China pays, and you found that out too. Yeah. China pays Americans to have their babies. That makes sense. And then sends them over, and then they come back, and it's just like, you guys, ooh, that family in California, remember that Asian family? I don't know if they were from China or from another Asian country, but they had, I think, like, 24 children or something like that. That's a farm. Yeah. That is a baby farm. Yeah. And no, you guys just go, my Latino heritage won't be erased. My rights won't be taken away.
My gay rights won't be taken away.
I don't know what else.
I don't know what else to
say. I just wish people would put the dots together. You're getting there. Some of you are getting there because you're like upset about this, but you're also absorbed in the Epstein list. And we always said, and we'll continue to say it, it's just for you to look the other way because something else is happening. It's a show and tell. It's a bragging right. Because if it really was, this is for the victims, there would be arrests. People would be like finding Bill Gates' address and trashing his house. Like how they showed up for Tim Walz in front of his gated house. Why are people not showing up to these people's houses?
And it's like, it drives me wild because it's like they put the names out, but there's no talk of investigation. Mm-hmm. Even Trump, again, you want to hear some Trump bashing? Here we go. Netanyahu came back in the country, got a military escort, like he's the president. Mm. More money was sent to Israel. Yeah. Right as the files get released, and now he's here, and now he's said, back off Bill Clinton. Hey, Pam Bondi, back off a little bit. Hey, don't hurt my people. Because who is it that controls all this anyway? Yeah. Trump is probably just as leveraged. Who knows if he did anything? We've said that. I don't know.
They're all involved.
But they're all. I mean, I'm the same way. If you're not going to sit there, because people will say, "Go after all of them," but they don't mean it. They just mean they're. No, they don't. Yeah. They just mean like the person, like the guy I work with. He just means the people on the opposite side of his political ideology.
Both sides. Both sides are involved.
Because
everyone.
when I hear our president say, "Leave Bill Clinton alone," it's like, what are you talking about? And then it's like, what do they have on you to make you say that? Now I get it. These people, these politicians, they don't hate each other.
No, they're part of a club.
Yes, like Obama and Trump. Remember when they were was it at Jimmy Carter's funeral? Yep. They were laughing. They were joking. People were like, I remember on the internet was like, what the hell? Yeah. And W was laughing. The only person that wasn't was Kamala. Everybody left Kamala alone. I know. Because she's not in it. Because she's not in the club. And that's why they picked. So? No, that's why she didn't get 81 million votes. Mm. That's why those 16, 17 million votes disappeared when she ran. that showed up for Biden. You think that people just didn't vote that time? They just stayed home? Because no, they weren't there. Because Dominion, out of Venezuela, created that in 2000. And I did see, like today, that was another thing. I got to research this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They said that in Venezuela, the first shipments of oil just went to Israel. So Israel's starting to get oil.
Are you serious?
Which I'd rather have Israel get it than China. I'd rather have Israel get it than Iran. But you think,
what more do we need to give Israel?
Well, everything, because they have everybody's by the balls. Because these people can't. Well, and again, would you give up your power? I mean, because we would like to say at some point somebody just say, you know what, I did some things when I was young. I'm gonna make up for it. You can't, like I said, they can't admit, like conspiracy theories, government, they can't admit to one thing, because once they admit to one, they can never dupe us into any of the others. So not one of them can say yes. Not one of them can go down, because it has to stay a conspiracy. And if nobody's arrested, nobody admits, then they can always pass it off as, these are files, but they're allegations. Just remember, you can put Trump in a search bar, and every document in which he's even met, an email return, a CC, someone just types, hey, did you see what Trump did? That counts.
Yeah.
So when they're like, he's been there 5,000 times, well, yeah, he's had 5,000 mentions. But what did he do? Bill Clinton, Obama, George Clooney, all these people all have mentions. But the thing is, no one's investigating. Pam Bondi's just like filing her nails in a congressional hearing with 3 million more dumps to go, and it's just because they figure we'll just fight over this for a while. They'll dump 3 million, we'll fight over it. We'll go back and forth. We pay these guys to say, look what Trump did. We pay these guys to say, look how Trump's exonerated. And they'll just bicker back and forth, and people in the middle and online and have phones and sitting scrolling for 30 minutes on their lunch break, and that's all they know of the Epstein files is a lunchtime scroll of 10 reels. And now they're experts, and they'll come to some conclusion, and we'll let it all go, because we'll never demand a march on Washington to have them investigated and put in chains.
Could you imagine all the people that would show up if they actually planned a march like that? I would probably fucking go.
If they did
save the children,
if they said
the children.
Every capital in America, like March 15th, I said there's another one, but it's just because it's just an anti-Trump run. It's covered as they just want him out. And I did see that we're going to go through it again already. The midterms haven't even happened, and apparently those houses getting Republicans on their side, and they got like 4 or 5 votes shy of articles of impeachment already. Now, again, he's not going to get removed because you need 2/3 of the Senate, which everybody forgets that part. And they would need 14 Republicans, and even if
have fun with JD Vance.
What they want to do, and this is part of my pre-midterm prediction, if they win, they will uniparty to try to remove Trump and Vance together for war crimes and abuse of power. Hakeem Jeffries, who will then be Speaker, who is Obama 2.0, will then slide in and finish the term, changing all the executive orders, changing all the things, getting ready for the 2030. Though the SAVE Act is about to pass, because that's one of the things that Democrats are trying to block. That's what they're trying to steamroll. The SAVE Act is about voter ID and proof of citizenship. The left hates it because they don't want voter ID.
Yeah.
And they like to say that black people can't get an ID. They're too stupid. That's always the fun part is Democrats actually say that people of color, brown and black, are too stupid to get an ID or don't have their birth certificates because they're dumb. It cracks me up. But I right before I left, I think it's just passed the House. So if it passes the Senate, but it creates election integrity and security. Between that and the Fulton County case and all the registries that have been cleared over the last 2 years, I don't know how they're going to cheat. They're going to have to shut the place down.
It'll happen.
And that's through impeachment. And then you get the right person in power. They can knock it all down with martial law. They can false flag the hell out of. They can let the sleeper cells that are already in this country have a little fun, Dark Knight style. Let Bane go around doing his thing. And then say, hey guys, we got to shut this down. You know what? The Constitution's old and outdated. We got new threats. We're just going to remake this. Blue helmets, you in? Come on in. We got you.
Yeah, it's very...
but it's just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well...
Because none of them have come true, right?
We've all run out. That's why we're creating new ones now.
Well, this one's going to hang on because this one has 4 years to go to be proven.
Yeah, I agree with how you're saying, like, that supposedly nothing, the way you were saying it, how, like, these files dropped and it's, like, allegations, no arrest. But to me, this is just, like I've always said, a show and tell. And the 30-minute lunch scrolling and now you're an expert. No, you've desensitized yourself and you've given your energy to them. Because that's what they did. They dropped it to...
Yeah.
Okay, rituals, guys. Rituals, okay? Not only do they do horrendous things with babies, children, whatever, other human beings, adults, whatnot. Energy, frequency. We've talked about this before in other episodes where the low vibration, we need to be low vibrational so they can continue with control and chaos. If you start to awaken and you start to realize, I have the power, that's when I get upset with this girl that said, oh, my Latino heritage will never be erased. You are giving up that power. Yeah. And for what reason are you giving up that power? What is it that has been done to you? Did someone come in, a king or queen, and say, your power is relinquished? Did God come down and say, your power is relinquished, you are not Latino? Because I don't understand why you would think that. So when everyone's talking about these Epstein lists and like, oh my God, the things I've seen and all the videos, you're stupid. Because you already knew. You just didn't want to admit it. When we get called conspiracy theorists, we would go, thank you, because we knew what was going on. It's not that hard to comprehend.
Nothing said.
You have to do, if you really want to dig into it, I was an art history. I majored in art. I studied art history. I studied religion. All this shit is written in books. They don't say specifically, oh, the elites do this and that, but follow the dots. Okay? You don't have to be an expert, but you also don't have to expose yourself to these things. We are exposed every day to violence, sex, drugs. What more do you want to see? The mind can only take so much before you become psychotic, before you get depressed. And that is the reason they did this, is to, we said it in the last one, to really depress people, because people are online crying, and I'm like, you are so dumb. And you're so obsessed with this, yet you do not go and fight roadblocks. I posted that video about that actor that wants to hold big tech accountable for these chats, for the bullying that's in the chats, for the pedophiles, all this stuff. Take your energy, your anger, and put it towards that. Go show up to those meetings. Write letters. I'm repeating what we said in the last episode. You need to, because all these people that are angry and sad, what are you doing with that now? They're just sucking the life out of you.
Very much.
And you're not doing anything about it. So take that, and I almost want to say meditate. Meditate love into the world, unity, because that's what we need. Instead of like, oh my God, the horrible things, because you're all going to be talking about it and you're just giving them more and more power, because they're going to drop more. Are they going to drop more files?
Who knows?
If they do, it's just to absorb
probably
more.
right near the midterms or something.
It's like hitting someone over the head. Yeah. And then so many times you get hit in the head. I'm Latina, so I've been hit in the head many times. You get hit in the head, and then it just comes to a point where you are so infuriated and you're just beat down. You don't do anything. You give up. And I think that's why they're doing all this stuff.
You see people giving up.
Show, yeah. They're giving up, and Big Pharma's taking advantage of it because all that money for pharmaceuticals, antidepressants. I mean, the processed
all the
food
GLP-1 ads that they put out there, like we talked about last time.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna laugh if it gets to that point where we now are automatically on GLP-1s because we have a shortage of food. That is what the theory is. That soon to be, there's going to be that's how they control people. Shortage of food, utilities.
So you know what Trump just did?
What did he do?
They struck a deal with Argentina for beef.
Oh,
$100 million. Yeah. Man, you know they hate that.
Oh yeah, they started talking about this fungus, the foot fungus or some shit like that.
That's why they
hate I'm like, guys, don't come with me with that shit, because all the food has shit. The ice in the drinks has E. coli. Okay, so I love how they pick and choose, because it was him that said that, because he's doing it. But any other presidents, like, no one was on Obama about how the factory farming and all the chemicals that are used. That's okay. You know, no one
Bill Gates
got
with
angry.
his APL. Nobody cares.
Bill Gates all of a sudden talking about a vaccine. No one's on top of his ass. But Yeah, I just don't.
Trump gets us beef to make it more affordable, and it's like, what about the American farmer? It's like, can he add
Ask
to
the
it?
government.
Well, because they sanction the hell out of them. They're not giving them water so they can keep their farm, because they don't own the water, so they can't have crops because they don't have water. And so, how about let's bring it? Okay, since we're not keeping up with it, let's add to the supply by bringing it in from another country. Since we've got so much extra money because of what happened, what did he use? What was that thing he did? Tariffs.
Increased all the prices
Yeah.
of things.
No, tariffs. So we have more income. Money's more coming in, so he can give some here. Bring in some beef. Okay. If we can't, we're not going to take care of ourselves. We'll just get. And like I said, because he's not in the club. He's not in the club. We gotta impeach him, guys. We gotta get him out of here. He's fucking up this whole 2030 thing. He can't empower the people.
Really
Tariff checks, no. We can't do that. IRS abolishment, no. We can't do that. Extra beef, no. We can't have that. We need them on bug paste. Come on. Impeach. Get him out of there.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I think Trump is definitely part of the club, and he's protecting a lot of people that he shouldn't be protecting.
On some levels, yeah. I totally agree.
But he does have some business moves, but I know with his arrogance, he's doing it to just be like, I did this. Because he cannot do a single conference. I haven't seen any conferences recently, anything, but he's always like, no one's ever done this in the history. It's tremendous. It's huge. And I'm like, shut the fuck up and just say what you did, and that's it.
The narcissist comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm also confused with that because all this world,
like, what's the catch?
All this world stuff and the Great Reset and World Economic Forum and 2030, that's not Israel. That's not. So that's why I think the battle's going on right now. Is like, yeah, is he protecting Epstein people? Sure. Is he protecting elite, powerful people? Yeah. Sure, because, again, they can't have these people because they need them to stay leveraged. They need the blackmail files. So they got to be careful what they release and what they redact, not because of victims or people. They don't care about that. Mm-hmm. They need to keep their blackmail file intact, and that's probably why Netanyahu's there. But I don't think that they're a part of that. So I think that's why I said, if you protect us here, we will allow you to do. You want to bring food in, beef in. You want to help. You want to abolish this. You want to give people more money, more power. Because again, I don't think that they're about that Great Reset. They want to own everything, and everything funnels through them. They get the oil, the riches, the minerals, the gems, the cash, the military. Yeah. We do all the dirty work for them. Somebody work was like, well, if they want a regime change in Iran, why don't they just do it? Because they want us to do it. Because they don't want it. The
U.S. always has to do things.
So that's why I'm torn here, because is this a battle between Uniparty and the Great Reset crowd and Israel? Probably. And who's going to win? Because the Global Reset crowd and the Uniparty, they have all the world except them. Yeah. And they are operating basically on their own, but they have leverage and power over everybody. But at what point will the world say, we're not going to let you have power, we're just going to take you out? That's why I want, because, like I said, the judge in the Netanyahu corruption case died. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. And then suddenly Trump says Bibi should get a pardon and leave Clinton alone. And now I'm going to bring in beef from another country. Yeah. And now we're going to take out Venezuela's dictator. Now we're going to distribute the oil to our allies. And now we're going to take Greenland and get those AI minerals and stuff. So it's like, is this truly, are we seeing a world war, not in terms of battling, but just in terms of power and influence and tech against the technocrats versus the resetters? And maybe that's what it is. Maybe the 2030 thing doesn't happen because Trump, I have always said, is the orange monkey wrench. Yeah. So that's why they hate him so much, and that's why they need you and I to hate him so much. Yeah. Because anybody from going forward, I thought, well, his term's over. Why are we smearing him still? Yeah. Why the smear? Yeah. And I realized, I listened to someone who made me make it clear that he's going to stay politically relevant by endorsing people to keep this ideology alive, to keep this. And so they need him to say, well, that's a Trump person. You know how bad he is, so you can't vote for him.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
Oh, Vance is a Trump, even though Vance isn't a Trump guy. He never liked him. He never has been, and he never will be, but he's on the technocrat side. Yeah. So he was groomed for that position. So he is in that ideal position of, hey, Donald Trump, you want your legacy? You want your name? You protect these people. And we will give you everything you want. We will make you the most successful president of all time. The American people will love you because we'll allow you to do this. Plus, we'll keep your Great Reset at bay. Yeah. But you got to go into Iran. You got to go to Venezuela. You got to go to Greenland. you've got to do all you've got to protect our blackmail list. Mm. So maybe that's what this whole thing. Maybe and again, they here our president, they don't hate each other.
No. They're
all just paid by different. They're just all paid by different people.
Yeah.
So it's just all the money fighting and battling each other.
It is, yeah.
So
it definitely is. It's just it's going to be ongoing until I'm just curious to see. Only time would tell when we get to 2030 what really happened, and not necessarily.
Like on the dot.
Timelines shift. So the more that people come together, it disrupts the frequencies, and then doesn't
6G.
allow for certain things. Yeah, it doesn't allow for certain things to happen, or they get pushed back because there was such pushback from us as a collective. And I don't mean that in a socialist way. I'm talking about spiritually collective.
Well, because collectivism is what's being pushed. But you were talking about the.
I was talking about spiritually, not collectivism.
Agenda 2030, like socialist. They're going to present it as collectivism and socialism.
Oh yeah, they're going to do it wonderful. They've already all that written stuff. Yeah.
But I think the 6G stuff is around 2028, right, for the next election. So if Vance gets in, he can push that right through.
And that's the other thing too, like the outrage over this list and everything. But you guys continue to buy technology.
I mean, the new Samsung's out; they'll get it.
They'll
iPhone,
get the phones.
Get it.
You guys don't have outrage. You're upset about supposedly grocery prices, gas, all that stuff. But you have the newest technology, the newest phone, and the phone costs more than a laptop.
Yep.
It costs more, and you justify it. Yep. I just want the phone to be able to make calls, and more we should be learning how to live without it, not be online so much because the time is coming where everything's going to have a kill switch. And, it already does. It's just they have to activate it.
Well, I grew up, did you grow up with this, with the minute, when cell phones started, you had the minute restrictions? Yep. You're going to have that. PM, you're going to have that again. You were going to go back to that.
Yeah.
You're going to be restricted on what websites you can go to and how long you can be on them. Because your carbon footprint, because this allegedly is creating climate change. Yeah. Not the cloud seeding or anything like that. Your laptop and your gas-powered car.
Yeah.
Because we're stupid. Because we're too busy fighting about whether or not we hate ICE or Trump, that we're not paying attention to the bigger picture, when we should say, these government officials are pieces of shit. They all are. So let's just figure out how to live the best life we can. Yeah. And when we go to the ballot box, maybe pay attention to candidates rather than party.
Yeah.
But also realize, like I said, I probably won't vote in the next presidential, because I finally understand it doesn't matter, and they're going to put in place whoever they're going to put in place.
Yeah, it's like, I've always said that, and then it's like I get drawn back into this matrix of, I can vote and make a change, or like I can vote and hope that the other evil, because they were both bad and bad, which one are we going to choose? Yeah. It's like you try to prevent one worse than the other. And it would be great if no one voted. I literally saw a comment of someone say there should be more outrage. There shouldn't be this back and forth about the halftime and like the Epstein list. Should be more outrage where people aren't going to work. They aren't paying their taxes. They aren't voting. And that would shut things down, and it would, but will we ever get to that point? No. The only way to get to that point is, like you said, if everyone hates one man and we all follow along with the drool coming out of our mouth because, and maybe dye our hair and like decide what gender we're going to be, because that is what the big push is for. I'm not making fun of those people, but it's just, that's all you see, and people who have mental illness. And when I say mental illness, people who get taken advantage of because they're not very bright up here, and they don't have people that taught them morals or like what's good and bad. And I hate to say it, but those people who never get attention from others and they're loners, this is their way of being part of something.
Yeah, the community now.
Yeah, and it's the worst community to be a part of, because in reality, you're just a follower. You're not an individual. You are a follower. You're sheep. And it's sad. It's very sad. And I think that's why I get so aggravated with people, because I'm like, wake up. You have the power to be whoever you want. I literally had to tell a creator, like, I didn't have to, but I follow some people who do like recipes, like crock pot recipes. Mm-hmm. And this lady went on there and she's like, guys, we're going to break up. And she was like laughing. She's like, well, we're breaking up, but not really. But she's like, this brand of the crock pot recipe. She's like, I want to expand. I'm not really feeling it. I'd like to talk about more stuff about like my life and experiences and stuff and crock pot recipes. And she's like, but I don't want people to be like upset. And I literally said, I tagged her by name and I said, respectfully, do whatever the fuck your heart desires. Life is too fucking short to be worried about this, okay? You do what you want. You have the power, and the people will be here. The OGs will stay. The people will stay. The people will continue to watch your content and everything. And I think that's the message that we try to push is like, you don't have to fall. We always said you don't have to fall in line. You don't have to be part of a posse. And I'm gonna be very blunt. There are times when we go to events and I feel like we're the only two that stand out. And I don't mean like, oh, we stand out because we know people no, we stand out because our ideology, and I'm putting in quotes, our way of thinking is so different from everyone else because they're all part of a certain group where they think a certain way. And it can be very, I don't want to say intimidating, but it can be very uneasy feeling because at any moment someone can point at both. I always wear that big crowd of people can point at us and be like, they're not one of us, And so it can be that bad because we see it. We see the protests. We see how crowds of people can literally attack one or two people, and some people even attack their own, not realizing that they're part of the same messaging.
That one where they attacked that truck. Horrible. They attacked that truck and putting dildos on it.
Trucks, they've attacked people, like just individuals that are protesting with them, and it's so dangerous. Because you have to
be on every side of the line. You can't deviate.
No. They're just so psychotic that they're just like, oh, this person is wearing red.
That's what I'm saying.
So they're crazy. Yeah. They're MAGA, and it's like they just wore red because the shirt was red.
And like I said, I can't be like, look, I'm just an old school like Christian conservative because you're MAGA. No. Well, yeah, I want America to be great. That's not a slur, so you didn't get me. I don't understand why that's a slur. But no, I have more conservative views because I was raised, my Christian background. I care about life. I care about freedom. I care about liberties. I care about our Constitution. I mean, if that makes me a bad person, I'll be a bad person every day. But the thing I like to think, some of the things we go to, this circles back to what we started with, is we see the cakes, I'm just going to say I don't care, that say fuck ICE.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And you know what I'd rather it say? Fuck the two-party system.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Fuck
I'd be like,
sides.
I'll take 14 of those.
Yeah. I'd like to see a political message that says...
Or just fuck the system.
Where it says, like, don't vote, or, switch to independent, or something. Then I could get behind. But, again, I saw that, and the smart-ass in me wanted to say, so you don't care about child trafficking?
Yeah.
Because that's what ICE takes care of. They're the number one group against child trafficking. So you don't care about kids? Is that what it is?
Yeah, all those poor children that they would drug like that.
Or is it okay as long as it's a fake? When he gave that Grammy to that kid, they're like, it's the 5-year-old from Minneapolis that they detained.
Oh, I know. People ran with that, and I was like, it's just symbolism that he was a child, and he became what he would see on the TV.
But they're like, look, he gave it to the Ramos kid. It was like, you're stupid. Yeah, and all the paid influencers, all of them, were like jumping on because they're paid to. Yeah. They were all jumping, and all of us were like, the same group of us were just like, you idiots.
Because they're sheep.
All they have to do is get 3 or 4 people to believe it. They'll tell 3 people. I've heard the stuff of my coworker. Yeah. Like I said, I don't really get engaged, but man, when he gets going. And he starts saying something like, yeah, I saw that clip. Yeah, I saw that post. Yeah, I saw that post. Because it's word for word.
Yeah.
And it's like all 20 of the influencers posted the same thing at the same time. And then he says the exact same thing. And you're like, yeah, I saw that too. Like, well, I watch both. Like, no, you don't.
No, and the algorithm is really good at keeping
it that's separate. Why I do what I do on X is I just follow. Because I want to see what they're all.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you're right. The algorithm does tend to put the same circle, and it's the more of the ones I engage with, that's what I see more. But those are the ones I want to battle more. I don't see a lot of ones, the OG ones I started with that were very conservative, and I was like, okay, I am on your side with a lot of stuff, but I still think you're going overboard because I still think we need some middle ground, no matter what the issues. Like with ICE and stuff, we need to rein in some agents. Yeah, they're Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah, some of them are going a little too far. Yes, we need to have more constraints and more discipline and stuff like that. But people need to stop too. People need to stop getting in there. It's everything's pretty much everything is. There's a middle ground in everything. And if we would just give, but you never want your side to give, and you want the other side to give everything.
Yeah,
on both
there's
sides.
No happy medium with these two sides. That's why it's like fuck the two sides.
That's why I want to see it. That would be. I wonder if they would do it.
What?
We should give one of these, like one of the ones.
Oh, like and make cupcakes that say that.
See if they would do a big cake that says "fuck the two-party system."
Yeah.
And put it in red and blue. Yeah. A red, white, and blue, like the flag, like on the side. And then say, we were going to do a whole episode on it, and we want the cake to display. Yeah,
they probably would. Yeah, that was the thing that upset me. This big-ass Valentine's heart that said, fuck ICE. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And what did I do? I started laughing. I started laughing, and then I was like...
Because you laughed, and I was like, what are you laughing? Oh.
Yeah, but I was like laughing because I'm like, you're so dumb. But
hey, she had a mask on, so I
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
It
was. I'm gonna be fair. Stuff was delicious.
Yeah, but
I'm not knocking people's talent. I'm knocking your ability to critically think.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Because we can be bigger people. We can look at that and say this is stupid. But if it's maybe not. It's not always being a bigger person. I guess now that I said that. Because if they're gonna put that out there, we can take a stand and say, if you're a business, I don't want to do business with that. I don't know where I stand on that sometimes.
If they want to compare ICE to being Nazi Germany, Gestapo, how is that not like putting the Star of David on people? Like anyone who wears a pin that has the ice cube with the... I'm like, you're again...
That's free Palestine. I can't breathe.
You're just like putting propaganda.
It's the BLM
on
pins.
You, and you're against the propaganda, but that's where the hypocrisy comes in. It's like you're against the fascist propaganda, but what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And it just doesn't make sense to me. And it'll never make sense.
It's the current thing. It's 5 to 7 business days.
I still don't understand the Ice Cube thing because ICE is not Ice Cube. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but it does not mean the word ice. Okay, and I'll always say that to kind of just throw some humor.
Maybe we should do that one day.
But
if we see it on a vendor we have more of a rapport with.
I really want to. Remember in the last episode I said I want to ask people like how much of this do you sell? But I noticed they sold of all their other stuff, but that basket that had the fuck ice,
no one's gonna buy
that. No one bought it.
Why would you?
No one bought it. But that's what I'm saying. Like and it pissed me off because I'm like, you just want to make money, but this is not your gold mine.
Yeah.
Your delicious other things.
All those cake sandwiches.
Like
holy shit! If she had a basket of those.
Well, the Rice Krispies things.
Rice Krispies, they were good, weren't they? So like I said, she's got good stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like that's why you're there to make money. You're there for a business, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't want. I could sure if she priced, I wouldn't want to take money from someone that has those morals.
Well, she took my money just fine.
So you mean to tell me that the businesses are going to have to start vetting their customers to see if they align fully with Here, fill out this survey before you're allowed to buy anything, and you're going to maintain a business that way?
Well, they've been doing it. Like, oh, we won't serve MAGA people, or we won't serve conservatives, and I'm like, and I always laugh at that because you still go to these Target, Whole Foods.
And who says that every ICE agent's a Republican anyway?
I know.
You don't think that there aren't federal agents? You don't think that federal agents can't be Democrats or independents?
What if they're like, what if they're like not even any party?
It's a job.
Yeah.
And they go where they're supposed to go and they serve the warrants or they do whatever.
Yeah.
They bust the child trafficking rings and save kids, God forbid. Because liberals don't want kids saved, apparently. That's the messaging I get. Now, the liberals, if they're listening, they're like, that's not true. That's the messaging your party gives.
The actions speak louder.
And again, it's not the person maybe sitting at home. Not the person sitting, but it's the messaging that that's why some people are mad. How could 78 million or whatever people vote for Donald Trump? Because your Democratic Party gave us shit to vote for instead. You gave us there wasn't a worthy candidate. You forced Kamala through with no primary, which is very fascist and very monarch-like, because the people didn't pick her. But they didn't pick Hillary. They didn't pick Joe Biden. The Democrats haven't picked their candidate in the last, 3 elections. Very fascist behavior. That's why I get pissed. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders caught up with Hillary. They said, no, superdelegates, Hillary won. Joe Biden they did 4 or 5 states, and they said, never mind, Joe Biden's got the nomination. Kamala, Joe Biden dropped out. They didn't redo it or do another primary. They just said, here you go. And here's $1 billion, and here's Beyonce, and here's
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, and we're going to put you on a consort tour to make it look like you have all these followers. And people will vote for it because we told them to, because every Fortune 500 CEO is on your back. Every millionaire, billionaire, which is ironic because I hate millionaires and billionaires.
Exactly.
Everything about your party, if you're a liberal listening, everything about your party, not necessarily you, but your party pushes people away from moderacy, pushes people away from that middle, and pushes them onto the right. Like that's what I've said. JFK, if you ran today, would run as a MAGA Republican. Because the left is over a fucking cliff on liberalism. Because they stand for abortion, transitioning kids, open border, removing the First and Second Amendment, and forget God, and we're going to asylum all of the illegals so they can all vote for us. No voter ID, so vote however you want. No laws, no law enforcement, no federal agencies, and we're going to pay for the world and give money to Ukraine every 6 months.
Yeah.
That is what you gave us as choice against Trump. That is why Trump won. Kitchen table politics won over identity politics.
Yeah.
Don't blame the Trump voters. Blame your own party for being such a shit show that nobody wanted to have anything to do with you. And if you don't clean their act, not your act, and they do throw Newsom out there, then expect a Vance win. And it's not going to be on the voters for Vance. It's going to be on the dumbass liberal party for putting Gavin Newsom on the ticket when his own state hates him. So shut the fuck up. Okay, that's my rant.
No, it's true. I do like to see Californians go against Newsom because they're like, he's a fucking joke and it's ridiculous. But, yeah, I totally agree. I don't know about this whole voting thing anymore. It is all planned. It's all planned. It's all written out. And, yeah, I do not want to give energy into these topics anymore. I know, we may update on Epstein or we may talk about, the Super Bowl, but I focus on the analytical side, breaking things down and showing and presenting things to people because it's just hilarious and sad at the same time. Very sad.
Well, I wasn't planning on going on those rants, but when you said that about your friend, I was like, that stuff just pisses me off.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because the hypocritical side of it.
We deal with these people every day. That's why I don't check people's stories. I don't like to because everything has turned political.
I shouldn't.
And you can talk politics all you want, but for me to talk about politics, you need, for me, and I might be hypocritical saying this, you need to understand what you're getting into. Do I understand politics as a whole? Absolutely not, because I don't even give a fuck about some of the things. I don't want to know. It's very complicated. And they make it complicated on purpose. So people are like, oh? You're just, oh no, just vote this. This is okay. No, vote that. That's bad. But I know what's right and wrong, and I use my brain, and no one's using their brain. Reading comprehension is I know that you say reading comprehension is at an all-time low. It doesn't exist anymore because people
have to because they got these.
People are fighting in the comments section, and literally the author of the post or video says, "You didn't read the caption, did you? You didn't watch the video in its entirety, did you?" So what does that say? That means your attention span is so low. Reading comprehension, not existing. Critical thinking, what the fuck is that? No one gets it. I mean, we see it. Look, it's not, we say it's very political propaganda, but the fact that it's affecting everyday life to the point where you go, what are those, DoorDash shoppers or whatever?
Yeah.
Instacart or whatever.
Yeah.
Sir, where's the bread? You're like in the bakery section, and they're like, "Sir, where's the bread?" And you just go, "If you look 2 inches this way, here's all the bread." That's how bad it is. Things are right in front of your face, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the typical stuff like, "Oh, where's my phone?" and you're holding it. I'm talking about basic ass stuff. Like, how do I fill up my car with gas? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I tie my shoes?
They said that
sad.
They said that I've read reports that this generation is the first generation that's got a lower IQ than the one before.
Yeah.
Usually you tick up a little bit because technology. So this generation has actually become less intelligent because they don't need to think because everything's done for them.
Right.
But that's the plan and that's the idea.
That's very sad because that's our future doctors. If there are even going to be
future
doctors
are AI.
There's not going to be doctors, lawyers, anything. It's very sad, very frightening, and I only hope
we're raising a generation of protesters. Yeah, so all they know how to do is protest.
I only hope that we continue to put out positive thoughts to let the world heal and unite. As much as I don't really like saying that because I guess that's me being a pessimist. Is I don't think it will. But
I'm just like
let the good times roll.
I don't think we'll ever unite.
Yeah.
But my final thought is, if you're gonna be political, jump in that game, post stories.
Yeah.
Try having your own voice. Stop.
Yeah.
Regurgitating someone else's. Figure it out for yourself. Research, like we do right here.
Mm.
We might
talk about it.
We're inspired, and so we get inspired by people we watch, but then we say things through our voice.
Yeah. I always analyze it. So, anyways, make sure you go outside, get some sun, and touch grass. Okay, bye.